Hey guys, it's me again. You know, throughout your life, you're going to encounter people that seem to always have some sort of calamity or catastrophe swirling around them. I know I certainly have. Anyway, I call them the calamitous people. And here's an example of what I mean. Okay, guys, this is another episode of the Calamitous People series that I like to talk about. This particular one is about Uncle VonDale loading up his shotgun with Tums antacids. And here's the way the story goes. And I was actually there, so I'm a first-hand witness to this. But my Uncle VonDale, which was my mother's brother-in-law, and my father and I were bird hunting one day when I was probably 8 or 9 years old, somewhere along in there. And we were quail hunting. Also, they just called it bird hunting, down behind the Albion Grocery. Down there, some nice fields down through there. It's nice river bottom land on the close to the river. Anyway, we were down on Sonny and Kathleen's field, right across the road from Hitch and Wasil's place. And we were bird hunting down there, and we got into some birds. And so, the covey of birds flew up, and Dad fired over here and shot a couple of birds and knocked them down, and Uncle VonDale fired over here, and bam, he knocked a couple of birds down. And we gathered them up, and it was my job I was hanging out with these guys, so it was my job to keep eyes on the birds to see where they would land so that we could go, gather up the strays, as they called it. So, sure enough, we did. We crossed over into Jack and Ollie B's place to pick up our strays over there. And so we're walking up where I saw the birds land, and the dogs are working the area. And so Bud walks up and carefully kicks the grass and the underbrush there where the dogs are pointing into. And sure enough, the birds jump up and fly away. And so the ones that go this way, Dad shoots, bam, bam, shoots the birds and turns around, and over here on VonDale's side, nothing. There's just silence. And Dad says, "Why didn't you shoot?" And VonDale's like, he's all flustered, like, "My gun jammed. I don't know what's going on." Well, what had happened was VonDale had loaded up his shotgun as we were walking along between the first covey and the second there. You walk along and you load up your shotgun as you walk along. Well, VonDale had loaded up his gun with a roll of Tums antacids instead of a shotgun shell, and I can easily see how he would do that. The way this thing works is shotguns load the magazine on the bottom. So you just, as you're walking along and you're watching the dogs to make sure they don't get lost, see where you're working. So you walk along, you put in shotgun shells in the bottom into the magazine, and you just slide them in like that. Well, VonDale was not watching what he was doing. He just reached in his pocket, and instead of pulling out another shotgun shell, he comes up with a roll of Tums and sticks them into the shotgun. And so they obviously failed to feed and caused him a misfire. And that story has caused him great embarrassment over the years, because we have retold the story many, many times to all the family members, and of course as I'm telling it now. So